No, take your time. No rush. All right, y'all ready?
We all good?
Yep.
Okay. So excited to be here today. We had a great practice. Beautiful weather out there. Going to soak it up as long as we can because we know that on Sunday it may not be so nice. But we're looking forward to the opportunity to play a really good football team, really good offense, a lot of good players, and it's going to be a great challenge for us that we're excited to take on, and can't wait for Sunday to get here.
I know the sack numbers don't really stand out, but there's obviously more to pass rushing than just sacks. What are you seeing from a pressure standpoint from your front?
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. The numbers don't always tell the story in terms of the sack totals, but we've been able to affect the quarterback, especially when we've had our full lineup up, and the opportunities we do get, we're getting sacks or we're getting pressure, the ball's coming out, or we're making things happen down the field. So, we'll continue to work at it. We know there's growth to be made there, just as there is in a lot of other parts of our defense. But we're happy about where we are, and we're just working to continue to get better.
I know we talk about Derrick Brown a lot and his ability to kind of take on blocks and everything like that. Have you noticed a difference in the way teams are running at you guys because of how dominant he's been?
Yeah, I mean, people are definitely accounting for him. He's getting more blockers, more attention, the center turn, all those different types of things. But he's been so disruptive, run game and pass game. A lot of people are going to focus on the run, and rightfully so. He's done a heck of a job. But you even look at the rush production, and yeah, he only has one sack, I believe. But he's affecting the quarterback, and he's pushing the pocket, and he's doing a lot of good things. Obviously, he's knocking the ball down, a lot of batted balls, and so he's been, he's playing at a Pro Bowl level. That's for damn sure.
To have the awareness of batting that ball and intercepting it, like in your experience, like how hard is that to get out of a play like that?
Yeah, I mean, to be that close to the ball, to the quarterback throwing the ball, and to be able to react the way he did, just shows you the athlete he is at that size.
Going off that, what would be your pitch for him to make the Pro Bowl?
Just watch the tape. Yeah, watch the tape. I mean, obviously there's a lot of run production, just hurries, things of that nature, the interception. But you go watch the tape, and you're not going to find a lot of players playing at a better level.
There's real disparity between yards allowed for you guys and points allowed.
Yep.
How would you explain that?
Well, the one area we got to be better at is the red zone. We just haven't done as good a job as I hoped, and I think we're capable of. So we got to play better down there. When people get the ball down there, regardless of how it happens, we got to buckle up and just stop them. And so, and a lot of that's going to be me. Got to be better there, and then we got to play better too. So.
How much would you say that the lack of takeaways has also played a role in that?
I don't know if there's a correlation, but I'm not too worried about that. It's much more when they get down there, what are we going to do about it? And we just got to have the fortitude, the mental and physical fortitude to stand up.
Where have you seen Derrick? I mean, in the 3-4, playing more outside, I guess, kind of in that. Has he been more effective there than what you saw on tape from the last few years, or?
Yeah, I mean, Derrick is such a special player. You could play him in a 5 technique, a 4 technique, a 3 technique. You play him right over the center, and he's going to be effective. He learns the techniques. He's smart, and once he figures it out, he's going to play at a high level. And so he's a special player.
What have been the challenges for you and just the defense in general, playing from behind as much as you guys have?
Yeah, it makes the game different. That's for certain. You're going to probably see more runs. You're going to have less pass rush opportunities, things of that nature. But our biggest focus, though, is that, hey, regardless of what happened, especially the way the season has played out, especially the way some of these games have played out, is like we can't worry too much about anything but what's in front of us. And we just have to have the mindset of playing one play at a time and playing the play that's in front of us.
Well, speaking of what's in front of you, you got Atlanta this week. Desmond Ritter, he's been up and he's kind of been all over, but he can be explosive. He's shown that. How do you approach that this week with a guy who can be explosive but also has a big cache of weapons?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right, and you always have to play to their upside, right? So like, what's his top end, and that's what we have to be ready to deal with. And you see a player compared to when we played him in week 1 that's really using his legs a lot more. He's getting outside of the pocket to run and to throw. He's getting the ball to the playmakers outside, and we know they got a lot of good ones. And so he's really improved and progressed, and he's going to be tough to deal with.
JC got more playing time, obviously, this week, 2 weeks away from being activated. Have you noticed anything about kind of his wow, I just lost track of the word. Just like kind of his aggression, I guess, towards the run and maybe kind of deep shots and coverage?
Yeah, no, the first game he came back, he's kind of getting his legs back, and the plan was to play him the way we did. And then last week we were going to let him loose and have the full game. And he's missed a lot of time. He missed obviously, which is going to attribute to you getting better and all those things. But he's a heck of a player. He's really smart. He's tough. He's got all the physical attributes you want. He'll continue to get better, and I know that as we continue to play more games with him, he'll continue to get better. And you saw the play he made on the go ball against Olave last week, the tackle he made and run support on third down. So, I mean, this is a guy that could cover in and tackle. He's a complete corner, and so and we're excited about not only what he's going to do these next 4 games, but I'm excited to see what he's going to do the rest of his career.
You mentioned the weather. Have analytics evolved to the point where they factor weather into it as you're looking at what different teams or tendencies they've shown in certain inclement weather, for instance?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Those things like in terms of are they running the ball more, what type of throws are they utilizing, things of that nature. And so, yeah, that's all part of our studies.
Is that broken down by like this was a fair weather game versus a muddy track?
Yeah, you always have your sample size of like what you're looking at, and then if there's an outlier, what's the reason for it? And a lot of times it has something to do with maybe it's wind or weather or something like that. So for certain.
What's the one of those analytics that jumps out the most at you when you go back and look at it, and how that's impacted by the way the team's playing? You guys playing from catch up a lot.
In terms of the weather you're talking about?
No, the analytics that you're talking about. And what are those? What jumps out at you? I mean, like I guess opponents' quarterback ratings are very down near the bottom or last in the league. But on the other hand, you guys have been they've been playing from ahead, so they haven't thrown as much. So what jumps out at you that sort of signals how this defense is playing?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things. We've gotten better against the run as we've worked through the season. We've been more productive. Our pass defense has been good. Again, where we need to grow is we need to affect the quarterback more. We need to play better in the red zone. And those are really the big things we're focused on.
From the defensive perspective, when a team runs pony personnel or just like a 20 or 21 personnel in general, what are the issues that causes for a defense?
It depends how they're utilizing those guys. Some people will get in a pony, but it really plays out like 11 or 12 or normal formation or personnel groups. What Atlanta does, it's problematic because Mr. Robinson can be a running back and obviously a very good one, and then he could go line up at receiver and be a very good one and run a complete route tree. So he's a tough player, very good player, special player, and so he's going to be hard to deal with on Sunday.
They used him a lot different than they did the first game because you saw him very fresh and where they were really trying to work him in there. How they use him?
Probably just playing him more. I would say it's the biggest change, because he was utilized as a receiver, as a runner, obviously, motioning, doing different things. But now you can see he's more in there. He's in there a lot more. So.
The run game seems to be pretty dynamic, though, not just with Bijan, but with Patterson and Algier. Is it pick your poison? Is it do you defend these guys the same way? How do you view these 3 backs, because they seem to be a little bit different?
Yeah, it starts off with the scheme. The scheme is excellent. I think Coach Arthur Smith does a great job. The outside zone game, we know what that's all about, and then also all the shifts and motions and stuff they do pre-snap, the window dress. And so the scheme is excellent. It's tough to play against. And then they got really good players up front who know how to play in that scheme in terms of the O-linemen. And then they got really good ball carriers. And so it's a combination of things, the players, the scheme, the tempo, the speed that they executed at. So it's going to be a good challenge for us.
A week like this, does that make film study that much more critical, because you just used the word window dressing? So to know where your eyes need to be, is that critical? Yeah,
and it's really the NFL today. It's all about being disciplined and reading your keys. And there's a lot going on pre-snap these days, jet motions, orbit motions, back bolting, shifts, all these different things, and guys just have to really focus in on what their job is.
What's something maybe behind the scenes you've seen with Derrick, not on the field, but like I said, away from all that's shown what kind of a person and what kind of a player he is?
Well, I try to work out most mornings, early in the morning, before I get working and football, and he's always in there. So he's in early. He's working out. He takes care of his body. He's very attentive in the meeting rooms. He's got a great personality. He likes to joke around, and so he doesn't. He's not too hard on himself in terms of being super serious. But when it's time to focus in and get the work done on the field, in the classroom, in the weight room, he gets it done.
And when you guys watched the play of that interception he had in the film room with everybody there, what was kind of the reaction from you and other players around there?
Business as usual. Business as usual. As much as we want to celebrate that, we are more focusing on trying to get a win.
You and Derrick working out with the same amount of weight.
Times 10.
What time is that usually?
About 6. About 6, yeah. Yep.
Good.
All right. Thank you all. Appreciate it.